Our Windshield Survey, None Like You Black Club by Carrie Hall, Emily Curling, Holly Peters, and Jill Stein. Statistically, we show that the population is over 7,000 in the Broadway-Fillmore district. Also breaking down races, income, male versus female. What makes the Broadway-Fillmore neighborhood who they are was they were formerly known as Polonia. A strong focus on railroad and central terminal is now an area of immigration, creating a new dynamic. The physical environment infrastructure varied from new build to dilapidated roofs and boarded up housing. Some sidewalks were cracked and uneven. This poses a possible risk for those who have impairments, particularly those with visual impairments in the evening. A couple of schools listed here were within the 4 to 6 block radius. Statistically, those aged 25 or older, 18% had a higher degree than a high school diploma. 50%, slightly over, had a high school diploma. 30% did not. And then the Stanley Mikowski Early Childhood Center was grades pre-K through 4, and the Harriet Ross Tubman Academy was pre-K through 8. The fire station located on the right was within the 4 to 6 block radius. So they did have accessibility to fire department. By observation, we noticed that the majority of the population in this community take public transportation, which was accessible. There was also school buses, bicycles, Ubers now available to our area, and also noted a lot of people were walking by foot, which is fine in the summer and spring months, but what's to come makes it a little bit more of a challenge. Politically, we do see that the community cares and they are involved. There were signs for Byron Brown as listed on the right. We saw a lot more of those. Health services. In this district, there wasn't anything immediately in this district, but not far from is Buffalo General, the Vascular Institute, Women and Children's, and ECMC. Within the 4 to 6 block radius was the Jesse Nash Health Center, located on William Street. This is an STD clinic. Nobody is denied care based on their ability to pay or not to pay. They just had to be over the age of 12 and with proof of identification. Free condoms are also available. 2 resources also close by both houses. One is for drug and alcohol recovery, and the other mental health, substance abuse, domestic violence, immigration, and other services available. There's a YMCA in the area as well. We did notice that many of the recreational centers for the community were not kept up, or they were further away. This could lead to more unhealthy and dangerous activities as options. One line of communication that we observed was while waiting in our car to take photos, one neighbor opened her door to watch us. It led her to reach Mrs. Triggs directly through the phone. She came out to inquire what we were doing. We told her we were there for a project, and her response was that she received a call. She had to know what was happening, and it was her obligation to keep her neighborhood safe. Stores within the area include Quick Marts, there's an Aldi, there's a McDonald's, gas stations are accessible. A lot of businesses are no longer open, which can hurt the economy if there aren't options for employment. Bringing in an investor could help to revitalize the community. Other recreation and parks are listed here. There were various churches. Some were non-denominational, but accessible to the community. Some strengths, particularly the Johnson Street Block Club, they promote a safe and clean neighborhood. There's recreation areas in the community. Transportation is accessible. Some houses were really well kept up, particularly community gardens. There's limited trash due to the accessibility of trash cans. And they look out for one another. They're close to each other. This community lacks businesses. Aesthetically, it's not pleasing to the eye. There are vacant buildings, homes with graffiti and plywood covering doors and windows. The statistic for crime is an estimated 8,363 annually in this district alone. Fast food restaurants are far more easy to come by than any healthier option. Schools and colleges are, most of them, located downtown, and all healthcare facilities are located downtown. Our nursing diagnosis is a risk for powerlessness related to not seeking mental health as needed, increased risk of feelings of stress, anxiety, depression, substance abuse, and increased risk for domestic violence. Mrs. Triggs informed our group that many people in the community do not know how to seek help when they're stressed, depressed, and/or feeling of suicidal. According to Healthy People 2020, this can lead to substance abuse, domestic violence, self-destructing behaviors, and physical illness. Also, Healthy People 2020 suggests this can have a negative effect on relationships others have within their life and within their community. The goal is, as stated by Healthy People, early diagnosis and treatment of mental health disorders to help decrease the chronic disease that are associated with mental health disorders and the weight that it exposes to an individual. Our goal is to educate the community about signs and symptoms of depression, feelings of suicide, substance abuse, and domestic violence. Also, ways to cope within their community, such as going to recreational parks to decompress, provide resources for local businesses. They're feeling upset, involve others, and reach out to help when needed. We have listed our primary, secondary, and tertiary interventions. Our primary is to promote a healthy recreation activities within the community, playgrounds, parks, educate this can help. Secondary is to provide the resources, hotlines, mental health clinics individuals can go when they're feeling anxious, depressed, suicidal, so they can seek out counseling. Tertiary is to provide numbers for support groups for those who have went through mental health disorders and provide counseling. Thank you.